Day 20, U.S.-Israel War on Iran, Key Developments. Major Escalation, South Pars Gas Field Strike. The biggest development of Day 20 was Israel's strike on Iran's South Pars natural gas field, part of the largest gas reserves in the world, marking a significant escalation as Israel had previously attacked fuel depots but refrained from hitting energy production facilities. In retaliation, Iran's IRGC struck oil and gas facilities across Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE, hitting Qatar's Ras Laffan industrial city and setting off fires there. Energy markets shocked. Brent, the global oil benchmark, hit $115 a barrel after the South Pars attack triggered a chain of strikes across Middle Eastern energy infrastructure. The Ras Laffan strike alone cut about 17% of global LNG capacity, with losses estimated near $20 billion a year and a projected 9% annual hit to Qatar's GDP. Military actions. Israel said it struck 200 targets across western and central Iran on Wednesday, including military infrastructure, and also began intercepting missiles launched from Iran, with one foreign national killed by shrapnel in the southern Sharon region. Israel carried out strikes against Iranian naval targets in the Caspian Sea, the first such strikes in nearly 3 weeks of war. In the Israeli-occupied West Bank, at least 3 women were killed after rocket fragments struck a hair salon, which the Israeli military attributed to Iranian cluster munitions. Unknown projectiles struck 2 vessels in separate incidents in and around the Persian Gulf, with more than 20 oil tankers and cargo ships having reported incidents since the war began. Trump versus Netanyahu. Tension over energy strikes. Trump distanced the U.S. from Israel's South Pars attack, writing on Truth Social that the U.S. knew nothing about this particular attack. He warned that the U.S. would strike the entirety of South Pars if Iran kept attacking Qatar, and told Netanyahu to stop hitting Iranian oil and gas facilities, to which Netanyahu agreed. However, sources familiar with the strike contradicted Trump's claim that the U.S. had no prior knowledge of the operation. Intelligence controversy. U.S. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard was accused of altering her Senate testimony on Iran. Her written statement noted that U.S. intelligence concluded Iran had not attempted to rebuild uranium enrichment capabilities after they were bombed in June 2025, but she omitted this finding from her oral testimony, which undercut Trump's justification for launching the war. Casualties and humanitarian toll. The death toll across the region continued to rise, with Lebanon reporting more than 1,000 fatalities since the conflict began. Iran's Red Crescent reported 18,000 civilians injured in Iran, with 204 children killed, with more than 1,400 total deaths in the country. A CNN tally put the broader regional death toll at more than 2,200 people across the Middle East since the war began. Assassinations and Iran's leadership. Iran's Supreme Leader Khamenei declared that Israel would pay for the assassination of 3 senior Iranian security officials, including Intelligence Minister Ismail Khatib and Security Chief Ali Larijani, who had been killed in the preceding days. Global and diplomatic fallout. The UN's International Maritime Organization announced it would begin negotiations to establish a humanitarian corridor to free around 20,000 seafarers stranded in the Persian Gulf. Trump temporarily waived the Jones Act, a century-old U.S. shipping law, for 60 days to help ease rising energy costs.
Bahrain announced its air defenses had intercepted 132 missiles and 234 drones since the war began. Kuwait arrested 10 citizens allegedly affiliated with Hezbollah. Netanyahu's war stance. Netanyahu held a press conference declaring that Israel and the U.S. are protecting the entire world through their campaign, and claimed Iran can no longer enrich uranium or manufacture ballistic missiles, though he provided no evidence to substantiate these claims. This is an extremely fast-moving conflict. As of today, March 20th, day 21, Netanyahu has agreed to halt strikes on Iranian energy sites following Trump's pressure, though wider fighting continues across the region.